Hi everyone, it's Lucky and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So we're at we're at week 4 of my series of learning to draw, and this week I'm planning on doing like animals, just like a variety of like mammals specifically, because next week I want to do like fish, then birds, and then insect. So without further ado, let's get on to the first day. I didn't actually have any ideas on what I was going to do, or at least like what references I was going to use. So I thought the best idea would be to use a line of action again, since it worked out so well for me last time. Well, it didn't work out so well for me this time, and the reason I think why it didn't is because I thought that it would show me sketches or reference drawings of dogs, because the first day was dogs. I forgot to mention that earlier, but yeah, it was dogs. I was trying to be as faithful to the images as possible, but because I've never drawn animals in such great detail before, it turned out looking really bad, as you can see. But in my head I thought, oh, maybe if I just keep drawing it'll look better as I do more and more sketches, but yeah, it didn't, and you'll see as the video goes on. At another point I decided, hey, if I can't do it realistically, maybe I can try like a simple cartoon style. That worked out well for a little bit, and I mean very little bit. I didn't let that stop me, and I just continued powering through the rest of the sketches. The more sketches I did, the more and more I realized, yeah, I can't just follow a reference picture. That's not enough, because some of them look okay and some of them look very wonky. So I knew I needed a new game plan for day 2, and a game plan I had. And that game plan involved me starting off with drawing the skeletal structure of the animal, and that animal and it just so happened on the second day I decided to do cats. Do not judge me for picking so many basic animals, that's what most people draw anyway, so might as well start basic before you get to more complicated stuff. Because the main issue I have with drawing animals is their legs, because animals have a very interesting shape to their legs. Like, the front legs are completely straight, while the back legs are bended in a way that they can sit comfortably. You basically have to reteach yourself how to draw anatomy for the different animals, though most animals have the same or similar anatomy, where the front legs are straight and the back legs are bent the opposite way from how humans have their legs bent. So I figured if I wanted to do this right, I would have to start from the basics like I did with human anatomy, which is drawing the skeleton, and then I started adding skin onto said skeleton. And just to be safe, I did a few practice sketches of just the skeleton, and then did some simplified point sketches. As you can see here, I did the basic shape of the cat and then added lines, dots that represented where the bones and joints would be located on the body. To round off day 2, I just decided to make some quick form sketches of cats in different positions and from different angles. Since my technique on day 2 worked out so well, I decided to follow the same format on day 3, where I decided to draw a horse. Since I was once a horse girl, I have to admit, I even took riding lessons and watched My Little Pony. It seems only fair that that would be the next animal I would be tackling on during this week. But instead of drawing the skeletal structure of a horse, I just did the simplified shape and ball joints of the horse, since I found that to be a bit more simple than having to draw the skeleton over and over again. Because I feel like as long as you understand the basic shape and form of an animal or of a human, then you don't necessarily have to draw the skeletal structure, but it's always nice to know how to do it if the time ever arises. On day 4, I decided to tackle the rabbit. Since I am a jackalope, I decided that a rabbit would be a good thing to practice, since I'll be drawing myself quite a bit once I know how to draw myself. Plus, rabbits and bunnies in general are super cute, though very difficult. Again, it's the legs. I don't know why I have such an issue with legs. I don't know what's wrong with me. But this is why I'm here. This is why you're here. Maybe you also are going on your own drawing journey and need some inspiration to get yourself started, or maybe you once used to love drawing but fell out of love with it for one reason or another, or you just got burnt out, and who knows. All I know is that I want to re-spark my love for the art, and the only way I know how to do it is to reteach myself everything, and for you guys to join me on this journey, which will take me somewhere. I don't know where yet, but we'll find out together, hopefully. But I digress. Let's get back to the main focus of the video, shall we? After breaking it down to shapes 1 or 2 more times, I finally decided to get straight into just drawing the rabbit, and it turned out a lot better than I thought it would, so I'm very pleased with myself. I genuinely thought this would turn out much worse than when I tried to draw the dogs on the first day, but I'm happy to see there's improvement throughout the days. On the last day, I decided I'm gonna really spice it up, and by spice it up, I mean I'm just going to draw skeletal structures of multiple different animals, both because I was getting a bit tired of just drawing the same animal over and over again on the same day, and also because I thought it would be a lot interesting for you guys to watch me struggle to understand how certain animals' structures work. I honestly thought there was gonna be a lot more similarities than they actually were, but of course it wasn't, because even if they have a slightly similar structure, they still have differences that make them more difficult or easier to draw than to other animals. Like, I drew a squirrel and it was quite simple. I'm like, okay, that's not too hard. But then I tried to draw a bear, and I think it's because I used an image that had both the skeleton and the muscle structure, and I was trying to draw it the opposite way around without inverting the picture, so it was very difficult to determine where everything was supposed to go in the drawing. But I was too far gone and too determined to give up, so I pushed through all the confusion and all the non-inverted pictures, and I made it through in the end. And here are the final results. I have to say, for this day I didn't think I would do as well as I did because they're skeletons, and I have a somewhat of a reputation for doing skeletons pretty badly. But this actually turned out pretty well. I'm surprised. This whole week turned out to be a bigger surprise to me than I thought, because I haven't really had much experience drawing animals. So it was very nice to see that I had some levels of understanding how their anatomy works and their general structure and how they would move depending on different positions. Except for the first day. The first day didn't go so well. I mean, when I tried to do like little cartoon animals, it worked, but when I tried to do it realistically, it didn't work. That's all for this week. Tune in next week for more the continuation of my learning how to draw series. But until then, Lucky out.